5/16, May 16th, Wednesday? Yes. Want to see the hair loss for today? It's 2 bunches. You see that? 2 bunches. That's just from this morning. He hasn't even filled the whole day yet. So take another 2 of those by the end of today, and you can see that I'm losing mega amount of hair. Mega amount of hair. Every time I run my hands through, and I get more, and I can feel it getting thinner and thinner and thinner. The weather's turning for the good. I'm waiting for it to warm up a little bit more, because on my walk, if I take a little bit of a detour, I need to stop at my mom's, because all her medications got delivered while I was over there yesterday. I got home, I'm like, are you kidding me? So now I have to get over there with a bag of medications. I have to put them in a little bag, a backpack, and hike over to her apartment on my 3-mile walk, which will end up being about almost 4 miles now once I go to her apartment and back. So be it, right? I've been talking to a couple people online. I'm on a support group for LDN, and this one woman who's had Lyme disease for 25 plus years, never got diagnosed till 2012, was CDC positive though. She was being treated on antibiotics for about 9 months with a Lyme literate medical doctor, and then moved from West Virginia to Florida and lost that doctor, and has tried, I don't know if she's found a new doctor, has tried supplements and the natural route, and now, how long has she been on the LDN? Oh crap, let me see if I can find her message back to me. I can't remember how long she's been on the LDN. It's been a while. She's been on it almost a year, almost a year. So she's been on it almost a year, and she said that it took at least 3 months to feel subtle improvements, and then by a year she feels 75 to 80% better in her symptoms. Her symptoms, chronic neck pain, really, back, fatigue, achy, flu-like feeling, migraines, memory loss, anxiety, lots and lots more that she didn't even want to list. But she's saying that she is now back to working 3 days a week as a teacher, but she's just tutoring in the classroom. She's not teaching a class. She said she doesn't trust her mind or her body to do that just yet. So to hang in there with LDN, give it more time. She said that she's had to go back and forth with her dosages. I'm sorry. She got up to 4.5 milligrams at 6 months of being on it, and she didn't feel good on it. So she went back down to 3 milligrams, stayed there for several months, and she keeps trying to go back up and ending up going back to 3. So 3 milligrams seems to be the sweet spot for her at this point. I just keep looking at this crap, and I have to make an appointment. Actually, if you notice, this is 3, Three separate. Let me show you. Oh, can't see it that way. It's three separate little balls of hair. I know this is thrilling you to see this, but that's what it is. It's three separate little balls of hair because that's just me doing this. Just doing this and hair falling out. And then I gather it all up and make a ball. And it just keeps falling out. It never do I not have hair in my hand. Never. Anyways, I was supposed to have an appointment with my GP. I don't know, a follow-up or a med check. I don't know. But I had to cancel it, so I need to reschedule that. And while I'm there, I can ask her. My hair's falling out by the handfuls. What do you think? So that's going to be my morning. I'm waiting for it to warm up a little bit more before I head out for my journey over to my mom's. Hope she's less crazy right now. She'll be in bed. But if she gets up and starts talking crazy, I mean, she was just saying the craziest things last night. She's sitting on the edge of her bed telling me, well, the place you had me at yesterday didn't have a kitchen. And I'm like, what? She goes, yesterday, and is there a kitchen out there? I mean, she's lived in this apartment for 2 years. I'm like, Mom, you haven't gone anywhere. Honey, you have not gone anywhere. This is where you live. It's always had a kitchen. It's always had a bathroom. It's always had a living room. It's always had a bedroom. Nothing has changed. It's in your mind. And I hate saying that to her because how scary is it for her? She's not recognizing. I actually picked up a couple of her items in her bedroom that she's had since I was a little girl. I mean, this little glass vase that she inherited from her mother. I picked her up. I go, Mom, whose is this? And she goes, I don't know. She's not recognizing it. I'm just waiting for the day that she won't recognize me. God, take her home. Please, dear Jesus, take her home. I don't understand why we have to suffer. Suffering is one thing, but longevity suffering. This year of suffering makes no sense to me at all. I just pray that the Lord would just take her. Yeah, pray that he takes me too. We're both suffering, and I totally get where she's coming from. She was like, I just want to die. That's what she was saying last night. And I'm thinking, me too. I so want to die too. She was like, I don't want to live anymore. And I'm like, I understand, Mom. Her life consists of going in her bed and sleeping all day and getting up when an aide shows up to feed her, give her her dinner, lunch, breakfast, and then she goes right back to bed. And that's her life. She watches the TV. The only time she watches TV is when one of the aides will turn it on while she's eating a meal, and then she'll kind of, look at it. Is she following it? No. She doesn't read. She doesn't crochet. She doesn't do anything that she used to do. She has no interest because her mind can't wrap around it. The only thing worse is ALS. I think I had a couple patients as a nurse with ALS. And I think I might have mentioned this in past vlogs. And this one gentleman always stands out in my mind because he was young. He was relatively young. He had a very young family. I would say he was in his late 30s, early 40s at best. And he was at the stage that he had the tracheotomy. Yeah. his body was completely not functioning. He had a cath and he was a breathing tube. But his mind, see, that's the thing with ALS. It takes over your body. And you could see it. And I remember, I think I've told you, his eyes were like this. And he would dart because, God, the torture he must have been in. And I'm like, whoa. And I always think back, like, why? Why keep him alive? Take him. People like that. ALS is the worst disease I've ever witnessed in my life. The worst. Because you are trapped. And you're just waiting to die. And every day somebody's got to come in and feed you through a feeding tube and wipe your butt and wash you down with a sponge. And you're just laying there. You do nothing. You do nothing. I'm ranting again because I listened to a preaching again this morning about prayer. And you have not because you ask not. No, nah, negative. I ask, pray every day, all day. So that is not why I don't have it. Sorry, wrong. Need to get into prayer more. Don't be so distracted. He wasn't saying you don't have enough faith. He was basically just saying the power of prayer. That's all I do. That's all I do is pray. Anyway, enough of boy, every single one of my vlogs is the same thing. Forgive my French. All I do is bitch. There's no better word for it. Sorry. Plug your ears. Should have given you a little warning. Gonna swear. That's the other thing. You know what this has brought on to me? I swear. I never swore. Once I got saved, the Lord took that away from me. I had a filthy, filthy mouth when I was a sinner. Are you kidding me? The F word was a verb, an adjective. You know, I used it in every sentence. And I got saved, and vulgarity was taken away from me. And I remember in nursing school, was it nursing school or school for, no. When I was in school for early childhood education, I had a professor who said, and I'm ad-libbing here, basically, the use of vulgarity is the proof of ignorance. Basically, you can't think of a better word, so you just use vulgar words. Use your intelligence and come up with something smarter. So anyways, that stuck with me. But in this last year, I find myself swearing all the time because I'm just so frustrated and mad and angry. I don't like it. I don't like that about me. Another negative thing this has done to me. Let's see how bald I am. Yep, I'm getting bald. Yep, pretty bald. Pretty bald. Anyway, I'll check in with you later. I'm gonna head out soon. It's about a 3.5 mile walk today. Bye. Hi. I just had to delete a whole segment because I was videoing as I was walking home from my mother's. And I was really revved up. And it's funny because you can go from yesterday and last evening feeling very sorry for her and very compassionate to wanting to put her head right through a wall. That's how quickly it can change, and that's why the Alzheimer's Association and all the support groups say if there's any way outside of family members taking care of the person, that's what they should do, because course. This is why my granddaughter said Gammy is best at, or does the best at, letting the dogs out to pee. Because this is what I do all day. I literally let this one, Chewy, in and out. He doesn't know how to use the freaking doggy door. There's PetSmart, the door. But he won't use it. Oh, I'm dizzy. Hold on. What was I saying? Oh, because it's, you know, if she was a stranger to me, I would completely keep my composure, would not lose my temper, could care less. But, oh my God, I'm so dizzy, off balance constantly. But because she's my mother and we have a history, and not a great history at that, I lose it. I mean, she's delusional, so no, I'm not going to believe anything she says. And that annoys her, but she doesn't understand why I can't believe anything she says, because nothing she says is true. And there was an argument that ensued because she was trying to tell me that she had done something that I clearly knew she had not done, because she has not done it in all the years she's lived here. So why would all of a sudden she be able to? What it was is that she said she made herself her own lunch. And the aide was there, and the aide said, you know, I don't see any evidence. She was sitting there eating a bowl of ice cream, because she had already had lunch, don't you know? And the aide's like, I don't know. And I go, she didn't make lunch. And that made her mad, to the point that she's threatening to smash the ice cream into my face. That's when I said, I'm leaving. Do not call me. I don't care. Well, who am I supposed to call? I don't care who you call, but don't call me. Do not call me. Leave me alone. I'm not going to have you talk to me like this. I'm not going to be treated like this. I walk all the way over here to take care of things for you, and I offered to make you a sandwich, and you threatened me with smashing ice cream in my face. I know it sounds silly. I know it sounds silly, but believe me, when you are feeling as bad as we feel, that is more stress than you can take. And because she's so demented, she even literally says to me, well, I'm not going to apologize. And I said, I didn't ask you to apologize. I'm telling you not to call me. And so I will do what my sister told me to do. Don't answer the phone. Do not answer the phone. She's fine. She has 6 visits a day. She's not alone. And all you have to do is pull her up on the camera to see if there was anything really important if the phone rings. Otherwise, don't answer the phone. Don't talk to her. Separate yourself from her for a while. So that's what I have to do, because I can't. The stress level is just getting worse and worse and worse. I mean, I don't know what to do. So I'm sitting out by the pool, trying to catch a little vitamin D. My younger daughter's really, her husband teaches, he's a yogi. Is that what they're called? Yogis. He does that as a side job, and they have a yogi studio in their, I've told you all this, in their house. They have a yogi studio, and he does yoga classes on Monday evenings. So they're really into yoga, obviously. And all my kids suffer from anxiety to an extent. And Brittany has told me, first of all, she did go into therapy and saw a counselor for several months, until the counselor said, you're good. You don't need to come back. There's nothing more I can do for you. But between talk therapy and yoga, she's definitely, and clean eating and other things, but she's really into yoga. And she says yoga releases stress more than anything else. And she's a runner, not like my older daughter. My older daughter literally has done a marathon. But she likes to run, she likes to jog, she likes to hike, she does those things. She goes, but any of the other physical stuff, yoga is the best stress releaser. And I keep thinking I need to get myself back into doing some yoga. My gosh, you can YouTube beginner yoga videos all over the place. Because I need to find a center. I need to cope. And I'm not coping with anything. My head being in this constant state of wackadoodle causes so much stress. I know that if this went away, my stress level would go way down. But I'm constantly battling this. I feel like I'm constantly battling, trying to stay upright and not feel woozy, and you know what I'm talking about. You know. I'm not telling you guys anything you don't know. I just once, we're talking about lawnmowers. I don't know if you can hear it in the background, but I just like once to come in my backyard and not hear a lawnmower going. Just once. Doesn't matter what day of the week it is, doesn't matter what time of the day it is, there is always a lawnmower to be heard. I wanted to mention my sleep last night. My sleep is getting better, believe it or not, for me. I mean, I woke up a lot last night, but I went right back to sleep. And I didn't get up to pee 3 or 4 times. And here's the big one. I realized the last couple nights, probably in the last 3, 4 nights, maybe even longer, I'm not waking up at that 11:30, quarter to 12, anytime between 11:30 and 12 o'clock. I'd always wake up to go potty after going to sleep at 10. I haven't done that in the last several nights. That's a big change because I was waking up, I mean, like an alarm clock was going off in my brain. Between 11:30 and 12 o'clock every single night. And I turn the lights out at 10. I'm asleep by 10:15. And by 11:30, 12 o'clock, I was back awake going potty. So that's changed. Sorry, you got the male debarkment going. I got the... feel like I'm doing this. I'm swaying in the wind here. And that's it. When your brain is always being flashed, you cannot be calm. I'm sorry. I don't know how you can be calm with your head like this. You feel it's wired and tired. You feel like you're woozy and wacko and gonna pass out, and yet you feel tense because of it. It's a horrible existence, as I've said a billion times, and I'll say it a million more times. So I'm just going to sit back here for a while and enjoy the sun. We get so little of it around here. By the weekend, it's going to be raining again. And try to get a little vitamin D. I'll check in with you guys later. Oh, I can't answer some of... I'm sorry. Some of you leave great comments, and I want to write back to you, long paragraphs back to you, and I just... if I can get out 3 sentences, I'm good for that. That's it. But I have 4 grandkids, as you know. This is an answer to Michelle. My 2 older ones have been able to swim since they were 2 years old. underwater. They started diving at the age of 3. Now they're 5 and 7, and my 7-year, well, he's was 7 in July. He was wakeboarding last year. I think I said this on a previous vlog. Yeah, wakeboarding. Yes, so they swim perfectly fine. They're great swimmers, like fish. Preston, the third child, he's 3. He has never liked the water the way the first 2 did, so he's a little slower. He's 3. He's still using floaties. And of course, the baby's only 18 months old, so no, he doesn't know how to swim yet. But he likes the water. Preston never liked the water, even as a baby. He just didn't care for it. Wesley likes the water, so he'll probably be like the 2 older ones. He'll learn to swim at a very early age. All my family is all very water oriented. We love to be in the water, by the water, doing something with water all the time. Because in New York, you don't get to do it very often, so you do as much as you can. So to answer your question, the 2 older ones absolutely can swim. And no, I don't go in the pool either until the water temperature is at least in the 80s. If it's below 80, I won't even wade in it. I'll put my feet in it. If it's 82, 84, like Michelle said, like you said, 84, I can actually swim in it. I can enjoy and swim and go on. I don't go underwater anymore because my ears are so sensitive. But I used to be a diver and an avid swimmer, and now I just do little laps and, whatever. But yeah, the water has to be much warmer for me, whereas the kids will go in it when it's 65, the water temp. Anyway, I'm done babbling. And I'll check in with you guys later. Bye. Good morning. Funny, I added good to the morning. This is my voice in the morning. It gets even lower than ever. It's baritone. Thought I'd greet you from the bed today. Because it was a rough night. Burning electricity. That's how it feels. It feels like you just voltages of electricity going through your veins. It's burning, weird sensation in my gut. Which brings on the anxiety. You wake up every morning and, by the way, this is part 2 from yesterday. I didn't download yesterday, so you're going to get a little bit of yesterday's and then now today, which is Thursday. But you wake up like this every single day. It's not different. It's just the intensity changes. And so, I don't know what made me think of it, but I started thinking about my girlfriend Jan again and said, when she woke up that morning, did she know that was the day? That was the day she was going to take her life. She didn't know that her family would leave her home alone that day for church. Up until then, they hadn't been leaving her alone at all. So did she know? Or did she just grab that opportunity? I'm so worn out. I look at my face and I think, I've aged 20 years. I've gained 20 pounds. I've lost 20,000 hairs in just a very short amount of time. I truly don't understand what could ever turn this around. At my very best, I don't feel good. At my very best, I don't feel good. Went to the library yesterday evening and then stopped at a store just to get out of the house and do something, because even though I walked 3 miles yesterday, that gets me out of the house. I can't stand the fact that I'm not living. And so I guess I keep figuring, as long as I can still drive as much as I can, as long as I can still walk, I'm going to just keep doing it. As bad as I feel, I need to get to a dentist, and I can't handle it because I'm on LDN, and I don't even know if they can give me Novocaine when I'm on LDN. But this tooth is just getting worse. It's pushing farther and farther back to the point it almost looks like I don't even have a tooth there. You see how back it's pushed back? You're just going to have to pull it out and put a different tooth in, and I haven't even made a dentist appointment. I'm so sick. But I'm going to get out again today because I can. I'm able to, as best as I can. But I was awake a lot last night. So much for the not waking up a billion times. And I woke up at 11:45 to go pee. So much for that too. It's almost like Satan sits there on my shoulder waiting for me to say anything. He goes, "Really? Okay, well then I'll flip that back." I know I'm not supposed to be fearful of Satan, but he can hear everything I say. He doesn't know what I'm thinking. Only God knows that. Well, so this is me in bed. My husband's already left for work. I've pulled so far away from him. I feel like we barely talk, and it's all my fault. It has nothing to do with him. All right, I'm going to drag myself out of this bed and go do my morning devotionals, because that's what I do. So, welcome to my world. Okay, I'm up. I've been up for hours, getting ready to go take my walk. I was just going through bags and bags of clothes, trying to decide what needs to just get tossed to the rescue mission and what I could donate to somebody else. And just bending over, I'm on a stool, bending over and sorting through the clothes. Just that makes my head whacked. It shouldn't be. That should not affect my head unless I've got damage. I mean, severe brain damage, because doing something that simple, anyway, I'm going to go ahead and walk because I have nothing better to do. And looking at the rest of the day just is so depressing. Nothing to look forward to other than this. But I'm going to go ahead and do it. It's probably the last nice day for a couple days. So it'd be really wonderful if I could stop at my mother's and make her lunch and take her out in the back of her building where they have patio furniture and stuff, and sit and have lunch with her and get her outside. That's what I should do. I just don't. I just don't know if I have it in me. But I mean, she doesn't remember anything that happened yesterday. I was talking to a friend of mine last night and yesterday about how I keep my nursing license up to date. I am still a licensed nurse. Because every couple years when the license is due for renewal, I renew it. Because apparently somewhere in my mind, I think I will be able to do something like that again. But I can't fold and sort through clothes. I'm really getting to the end of my rope here. Every time I think I've gotten really to the end of it, I have a little bit more. And then I feel like, no, this is it. Now I'm really at my end. Apparently don't know what the real end is going to be. I can't stand even trying to do my hair. I'm supposed to take a shower today and wash it. I'm scared because I can't handle how much hair is falling out of my head, and it's scaring me. I don't even like to touch it. I barely touched it to just, you can see it hasn't been brushed or anything. I barely touched it just to pull it up in a clip. Because it's like every time I touch it, hair is just falling out. Falling out. This is the last bunch. This is just a quarter. I show you every day a quarter of what's coming out of not even, this is nothing. That's nothing. And yet anyone else would say, well, that's a lot of hair you're losing. Oh, you think? I'm afraid to touch it. I'm afraid to move it around because it's just coming out of my scalp. It's just one thing after another, and I just feel like I'm at the end of my rope. And that's why when I was vlogging this morning from bed, it's like, How do you know if this is the last day on earth? This is it. This will be it. Only God knows, right? Wish he'd give me a little hint. Okay. So I may push through and go to my mom's because it is so nice out. Otherwise, she'll just lay in bed all day. Take advantage of the days that she still can actually get out the door with me. Because I would hope my daughter would do that for me when I get to this point. Because I'm so close to being there now. Sorry. Feeling sorry for myself again. I'll check in with you later. All right, so I'm here with my mom. I made her tuna fish sandwich. We're sitting outside. Saw on the camera that I made you a sandwich, and we're sitting outside enjoying the weather. Or at least one of us is enjoying the weather. Anyway, it's beautiful. This is her backyard in the building she lives in. They keep it really nice. There used to be bunny rabbits all over, but no bunny rabbits. No bunny, just lots of birds. Anyways, so sit here and eat lunch and then sit for a while, and then I'll take her back up stairs and huff it back all the way home. Alright, I'm on my way out. Got 2 miles back home now. So, quite a walk, and it's pretty warm out. So as soon as I get home, I'm gonna get my bathing suit on and lay out in the sun and get my vitamin D. She was crabby when I first got there, especially to her aide. Her aide had come and she was like, really? Do you have to be so crabby? But then she just gets quiet. I'd rather her be quiet than crabby, so I'll talk to you later. Hi. I'm just gonna let this be my last vlog. Enough is enough. I got home from my mom's. You have to forgive me, my head is really woozy. And I laid out in my anti-gravity chair out in the back for a little while. I seemed to be okay. So then I made the big mistake of saying, well, I'm going to drive over to the hardware store because our doorbell broke. And the hardware store is like a half a mile away. But getting in the car, driving there, and going into the store and buying it, and my head, just like that, became so bad again. So as you see, I'm up on my bed. It's a gorgeous day. It's only 3 o'clock in the afternoon, but I can't even do anything right now but be in bed because my head is so whacked again. I can't. I wanted to get over to I wanted to, from there, stop at the grocery store and get the tins and the whipped cream and the green food coloring so I could do this pie challenge. But I'm telling you, I had to get right home after I came out of the hardware store. There was no going anywhere else. Oh. So, I don't know if this pie challenge is going to happen. My daughter, who bought me the t-shirts, is bringing them over after work tonight. So I'll wear one of them and show you guys. Oh man, It feels like I have a kaleidoscope going on in my brain. It's like, this is the worst feeling. Makes you want to just tear your hair out. My hair's falling out. And run out into the middle of the street screaming. It's gonna make me lose my mind. So bad. But I did what I intended to do. I went over to my mother's. As I said earlier, she was crabby. And I just kept my mouth shut. I said, just don't say anything. Just make the sandwich, get her downstairs, let her eat her sandwich, and get her back upstairs. And I mean, she's at the point now, you can't even have a conversation with her. You ask her a question, and she barely answers you. And if she does answer you, it's one, unless she's crabbing at you. If she's pissed off at you, then she's got a lot to say. Her mouth won't stop running. But otherwise, and I mean, as soon as I got her upstairs, took off her sneakers and got right into bed. She literally was out of bed for an hour, a little over an hour, maybe an hour and a half, maybe. That's as long as she was out of bed, and then right back to bed. She didn't want to do it. She didn't want to watch TV. No, she just, look at me. So I'm going to sign off. I'm done. I'm done. I'm done. I just need somebody to fix my head. This is debilitating my head. And it has been for a very long time. But it seriously puts you into a situation of being completely disabled because you can't think. You can't have, I've said it before. I don't have to repeat this. It's just horrible. And my husband's out on a motorcycle ride again. Without me. Lord willing, I'll be back at it again. God bless you guys. See you later.